Grr.
Hi, this is The Crunch. My name's Terry.
Richard.
Hi.
Hey, come over there. See you later.
See you later. Yeah, this is The Crunch. You'll be seeing some videos from us just generally playing games and things mainly. But in between all the game stuff, you'll have, well, hopefully, a couple of podcasts. And the podcasts are pretty much me and Rich rambling like two twats on a phone, having a conversation. That's it. Considering me and considering me and him are supposedly best mates, who have known each other for what? When did we meet? How old were we?
As soon as I came out of the womb, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
It was like, wait.
But what? 7?
Yeah, something ridiculous like that, and it's
6,
haunted
7.
me ever since.
Yeah. We've had the misfortune of knowing each other since we were both 6, 7. Considering we're both 31 now, it's a long time, and we both live together in a completely asexual, non-homosexual way.
Well, maybe your end.
What, you mean you fancied the pants?
No, actually.
I know. I did have the peak hole. You know.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always mysterious as why every time I go out the bath, the bedroom door was open that I had to walk past to get to my room. It's like, good, he's getting in the bath. I'm going to slowly open the door.
Oh no, he's going past. Oh no, oh dear, your towel slipped. But yes, so this is basically me and you rambling, and hopefully people will listen and enjoy us rambling.
Well, hopefully it's the people with the same kind of views on life, I guess, that basically just hate life. Well, hate everyone in life.
Yeah, just rambling and hoping the world just ends, apart from us. So yeah, where do you want to start? Where did you say did you care?
Well, the topic, I did say did you care?
Yeah.
No, how do you say it properly?
You fucking care. You fuck yeah.
You fuck yeah.
You have to sound almost like you're in extreme mental anguish. And
is that because the brain's swelling against the skull, or
no, because there's too much room in the skull brain.
Oh, so there's too much air.
You're
compressing down on the brain.
Yeah, you're having almost like you're in the midst of a breakdown. You've lost
or a
puppy.
stroke.
Puppy.
It's like living in a constant stroke state.
Yeah. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, this stems from a person who I used to go to school with. Well, we used to go to school with, but he was in my class. He
was in the other half of the year to me, so I didn't know him.
And that was when they separated us in high school. They knew too much.
It wasn't done on purpose. Much.
Like, they knew too much. Yeah, he was in. He came. This guy called Robert came into my class halfway through high school, and I instantly took a dislike to him. It was one of those subatomic level kind of. You go through life and you meet someone in life who every fibre of your being, every molecule of your essence and soul hates the person. They could rescue puppies.
Like on an atomic level.
Yeah, at an atomic level. They could rescue puppies, be a firefighter, and saved campus people during 9/11. It doesn't matter. You meet the person and you instantly hate them. It's an instant kind of like, I want to.
But isn't that the case with you with 90% of people you meet?
Not 90%, maybe 89%, maybe. Possibly. Anyone from like Europe.
You fucking idiot.
Continental.
Bad.
And
yeah, insta bad.
Maybe not.
Insta bad.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not America. Well,
insta bad.
Maybe some of America.
You're fucking bad.
Not Texas. I like Texas. I like some of their views, but at the same time, I don't like some of their views. Like, why the hell does everyone have to have a gun?
Well,
But then, no, don't get me wrong, guns are cool. As in, like, you airsoft, gun, the look of guns, holding a gun, you do get that big power sense. But it's when you see photographs of, like pregnancy photo. We're going to announce the fact that our child, my wife's expecting our second child. So what we're going to do is we're going to pose in a field holding our guns. Why?
yeah, but that's the way it is out there. Like, what do they do here?
My wife's
Nothing.
No, my wife's a photographer, so she knows there's more to life than like I'm going to hold a Beretta next to my pregnancy bump. What, you're going to shoot yourself in the womb? What, is this your way of abortion? What, I don't understand. Anyway, we're going off subject of John of
John.
Yeah, no,
Of
Kier. So I met this guy. He tried to get into my circle of friends, and he managed to succeed. But in doing so, he managed to increase the hatred I had for him.
So, what kind of level was it when you first met him?
When I first met him, it was just kind of like he's a twat. He just seems like so stupid. He's one of those people who everything you say, he's kind of like, oh, yeah, I've done that. Yeah, right. You know.
Oh, yeah,
one of those people who everything you've done he's done the same in the hopes that he integrates himself in going, well, I'm a cool person too. I'm like you. We're my best mates. And it's like, go away, leave me alone. You're breathing my air. You offend me. And he wasn't. To look at him. Let me see if I can describe him to you, so you can all get a picture.
Yeah, we need to know what he looks like to get this kind of hatred that you feel for this guy.
A stocky, portly chap. But his head was disproportionate to his body. You have to think of the chubby kid at school. And then think of the size of the chubby kid at school's head, and then times that by 3, and then add to the size of this cranium a pudding basin haircut. It looks like someone's got a mixing bowl, stuck it on the head and cut around the outside, bit like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Now that was the kid, and on top of that he had like milk spots, and he had his teeth had these.
So hold on. What? The picture I have at the moment is a Lego man with a hot air balloon stuck to his head.
Right, so yeah, essentially you're right. This guy for a Zeppelin for a head. He had like this pudding basin haircut, and his teeth had like green lines in it. So you could basically see the roots. It was like his teeth were almost
oh, that sounds really
his
nice.
His teeth were almost translucent. And
I mean, don't get me wrong, everyone. I have seen the guy, but not as obviously intimate as the hatred eyes of Terry has managed to scout out.
This is the annoying thing that it just irritates, is when you hate someone, which I unfortunately so often do. You have a tendency to really look at the person, and even though you hate the person, you can't stand the sight of the person. Your brain seems to categorically memorise and photographically memorise every aspect of said person's body. Everything.
All the features that you just really want to fucking screw up into a paper ball and throw in the bin.
Every single minute detail that you hate is catalogued and stored in a memory bank in the back of your brain. And you cannot help this, and you forget it almost like it, and every time you meet someone else who you hate, instead of pushing out previous people who you hate in your memory, it seems to get rid of things like the times table and things like that. These things get pushed out the side, or maybe it's just my brain hasn't got enough space memory-wise to compensate for everybody I hate in the world. I don't know.
So, hold on, the vision I have at the moment, have you ever seen Dreamcatcher, where he's in his brain with the filing system?
Yeah.
It's just full of names
Mr.
and
Grey.
pictures. Yeah, Mr. Gee.
Mr. Gee.
But okay, let's go on to his speech.
No, go back to the memory thing though. But I generally have a worry about this. I've generally got a worry that one day in my life I'm going to come across the last, start hating so many people that I'm going to wake up one morning and my wife's going to turn over to me and go, "Morning, honey." And I'm going to go, "Who the fuck are you?" I have no memory of you.
Just this instant cringe of hatred.
No, it's not hatred. It's just the fact of I can imagine me waking up, going to the toilet, looking at photographs in the mirror of our wedding day and go, "I have no memory of this." because I've just like hated too many people, and it just pushed all the good stuff out and just left the hate. But yeah, his speech impediment was another thing that really annoyed me, because it was kind of like he couldn't say the word. Back in the day when we were growing up in the 1990s, you had proper insults and words like "that's pants" and "cool" and
your
mum and your nan. You know, the worst insult you could ever say to someone is if someone said, "Fucking, I'm going to stab you up." Nowadays, it's like you stab you up. Back then, you would have turned around and went, "Oh, your nan," and you'd be like, "You wound me with your scathing remark." You know, but yeah, one of the insults was "you cock" and "cock" and stuff like that. Basically, James May, "you cock."
Yeah.
Cock. Yeah. Permission to say cock. But he couldn't say cock, or "you cock," or "the cock," or "a cock," or any kind of cock.
So what did he say instead?
Freak, yeah. There was no CK. Or if it was silent. But it was like, "You freak, yeah." What? Cat? It was like pronouncing the word CA, but loads of A's. "You freak, yeah." You freak, yeah.
So I'm guessing that your brain took this "yeah" and then just manipulated it into an insult back at him.
Oh God, yeah! Every time I saw him, he would come into school and he'd be like, "You're right, you freak, yeah." It was like he could be saying anything. It's like he could sit next to me and say like, "My goldfish died, who I've known all my life," and just freak, yeah. And that would be it. It was like, as far as I was concerned, I was looking at him. He could be sitting there talking about the fact he could be spouting Shakespeare, and all my brain's seeing is visualising him just sitting there going, "You freak, yeah, you freak, yeah, you freak, yeah, you freak, yeah." And that was it. There was no other words coming out of his mouth but that. For all I know, he could be turning around to me and going, even though we don't like each other, I really have a strong attraction to you, and I'm gay. I don't know. I don't know. All I'm hearing in my head is "you freak, yeah, you freak, yeah." That was it.
The hatred was that deep that we was sitting in a pie and mash once, and I had my back to the door. It's a big open window in front of the store. So I got my back to the door, and Terry's sitting opposite me. We're eating our pie and mash, and all of a sudden, like, Terry kind of glides to the side and leans and looks over my shoulder.
Can I just add to the fact that I hadn't actually seen him at this point. I saw a bus pull up, and for some reason the bus pulled up and something was drawing me to look at the bus stop once the bus pulled away, and when it pulled away, there he was. This was, and may I just add also, this is probably, we left school in 98 and this is probably 2002 this happened or something.
Yeah, probably.
So it was a few years afterwards, and I hadn't seen him in like 4 years. But for some reason, I was drawn to the bus stop outside the pie and mash shop. I slid across my chair like I don't know, like I was on a track or something. So I didn't actually move; just everything else but me moved, kind of thing. Looked at this bus stop. The bus pulled away, and there he was. And it was like a rah, 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 rah. I was just like,
I just saw this like anger, this anger come over your face. I was like, "What the fuck is he looking at?" I turn around and it's just like, no name mentioned, but he's standing at the bus stop.
I think you actually said, "Well, what's wrong?" And I went, "Yeah." Turned around and
you fake,
and then he was there. He didn't see me. I saw him, and then a bus pulled up and he disappeared. And it was like he was gone. It was like he was there and he disappeared, and I haven't seen him since.
Is that really the last time you saw him?
That was the last time I saw him, ever. And, like, it's been, what, fucking 10 plus years now since. And even though there's so much hatred for him that he still lingers in my memory. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, we were talking earlier, and like I said, I completely understand that I was a twat. And I don't condone bullying whatsoever. I don't condone that at all. I just, I didn't bully him for the sake of bullying him because I wanted to be cool and part of the in crowd. I generally hated the guy, and I didn't intentionally bully him because of that. And may I put on record that my dad actually said to me, and actually still says to this day, a story, the reason why I was called up at school. And he never told me this until recently, that he was called into school because apparently I was bullying this kid. And the teacher sat there and went, "Your son Terry is bullying this child, bullying a fellow pupil. His name's Robert, and my dad was like, all right, so what's he saying? And he said, and the teacher said, well, he's calling him. He says he's got a big head, and he calls him big head. And stuff like this. And the thing is that my dad said, and went, has he got a big head? And the teacher didn't actually answer, but then my dad actually saw him later. I went, yeah, but the kid's actually got a big head. So it's kind of like, instead of getting bollocked by my parents when I got home, my dad was just kind of like, yeah, but the dude actually had a big head.
He said,
like, you shouldn't do it. It's wrong. It doesn't matter if he has got what you're saying he's got. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't do it. And it's like, it's right. You shouldn't do it. You should keep your hatred to yourself. This is how wars start and things. But the guy was a cock. And to be perfectly honest, in all fairness, I wish him the best, and I hope if he listens to this ever, but I doubt it, because I highly doubt he actually knows how to use a computer. If he is listening to this and he does find this somehow, I wish him well. I hope he's doing okay. I hope his boyfriend or animal lover or whoever he's with is doing fine and they're happy together. And other than that, I really hope I never, ever, ever have the misfortune to ever bump into him ever again in my life, because then I will die slightly more happier and less hate-filled than I probably will.
All them years of therapy and stuff, trying to get him out of your memory.
I've had no hair.
Just come flooding back.
I've got a feeling he probably has.
He'll walk up to you in the street and go, "You fucking cock!" There, he's had years of speech therapy and stuff.
He's got, you cock. You cock. I wanted to get that out of the way, but I've had years of therapy, and I'd like to tell you now that I do not actually hate you. I understand that you had misfortunes and misgivings against me, and things escalated from there, and we're now grown up and better people. And I wish to extend my hand in friendship. I'll be like, don't get that fucking thing away from me, you fucking kid. You fucking big head. And then walk away.
Milkspot's big head. Thank you.
Milkspot's big head, green teeth. Oh no, don't. Yeah. This one thing listeners might actually hear is we'll keep throwing little noises and things, but this all comes from people we knew at school. One guy in particular, who I can't remember his name, but he would always just at the ending of every sentence, I don't know if it was just like his idea of a full stop or let everyone look at me, but it was like, so 4 times 4 had 4 is 8. Wait!
Yeah, it was like, right,
Is that you right? Wait. What?
Okay, look, speaking of names for people, we were saying,
yeah.
What about some of the nicknames we've been given to people over the years? Like, for instance, Colossal Pippin.
Yeah, okay, enough.
I think Colossal Pippin is the most awesome nickname anyone can have.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well, because we worked together, didn't we? And because you work in a supermarket, you come across a lot of people in your life. And the environment is you're exposed to a lot of different people and from walks of life and different looks and aspects, and you get tall people, short people, all stuff like that. And one day we came across, and someone started with a new set of trolley people and checkout people. And there was this one kid. He was about 5'10", 6 foot, big hair. Nice. He was a nice guy. He wasn't. He's not.
He's actually pretty good looking.
Really?
And he was taller than 5'10". He was about 6'4".
All right, 6'4". But he was a nice guy. He was nice to talk to and stuff like that. But his only problem, and the thing that every time I looked at him, I just had this habit of thinking names up of people. I have this very weird knack of, if I see someone for the first time, if they remind me of anything, it will twig, and then that person would be forever known as that person I remember. And the first time I ever saw him, I saw him sitting down, and the first thing I thought about was that guy. That kid looks like Pippin from Lord of the Rings. And then he stood up, and he was 6'4" or something. And then instantly I was like, "Fuck me, it's Colossal Pippin." From that point on, he was known as Colossal Pippin because he was colossal. He was huge. He was taller than me.
He did look exactly like Pippin, but just colossal.
Pippin. He had the same hair as a hobbit and everything, but he was huge. So he was forever known as Colossal Pippin. And then we bumped into someone else who had the head. He was about 6'4", 7 foot, and he was wide, big wide dude, but he was quite lanky. And obviously, because he's wearing the uniform, supermarket uniform, it made him look wide. But his head was the size of, like, I don't know, a tennis ball.
Grapefruit.
I'd say a tennis ball. It was tiny. And I swear it looked like, and the first thing we saw him was that it was Beetlejuice waiting room head. He looked like a character in Beetlejuice who had a tiny little head, who had the head shrinkers thing. And that was that. We had a customer who came in called Screechy, who was like this old woman who was just coming and going, sausages! I want sausages! Like, what would you like? It's like, where's the sausages? You're down the frozen aisle. Oh, sausages! Sausages are there. No, sausages! And she'd go and walk around the store going, sausages! And then she'd go up to like the cleaning aisle, pick up vanish, go, look, sausages! Okay, then.
Oh, you're forgetting one of the best ones.
Who's that?
Permamask.
Okay, yeah, there was another guy who...
Bearing in mind I still work with a guy, so...
Yeah, I can't remember all the ins and outs of it, but he looked like he was wearing one of those old prosthetic masks that people used to wear. You
know what I realised it is?
What's that?
When people get burns on their face, they put this plastic mask over you.
No, because he didn't look like he had burns. He generally looked like he had a prosthetic mask. But
the mask...
That were kind of...
But the mask they put on your face to cool the burns, it looked like that.
Kind of, yeah, I guess so. It's like people. I think the burns thing is where I draw the line a little. I don't know. It's just that. I'm trying to think of who else there was. We worked with a guy who walked like a raptor.
Oh right, yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, he's had that corrected now. So best of luck to him.
So in our repository we have Beetlejuice waiting room head, Colossal Pippin, Permamask,
legend, yeah.
And then Will.
Yeah. We had cheese and fags.
Oh. Fags, cheese, fags.
Fags and cheese. He was a guy who... Everyone's got the kid who stinks and who smokes a lot. But I swear to God, he smelled of cheese. And then every lunchtime, he would smoke behind the bike sheds and stuff, say he smelled of fags. So he was just like unimaginatively titled Cheese and Fags.
But we could have been creative and called him Whatsits and Fags. Or something.
Yeah, Whatsits and Lambert and Butler. But no, we decided just Cheese and Fags and go for it.
It was like it's not just cheese and fags, it's fags and cheese.
Yeah, cheese and fags and cheese. You had to say it and reverse it.
You had to go cheese, fags, cheese.
Cheese, fags, cheese. Oh, I'm trying to think of who else there was. I don't think there was anybody else really. Oh, just so many bad mistakes in life.
Funny mistakes.
Funny mistakes, and also, I must admit, looking back on me growing up, there's so many things I just hang your head in shame. Moments of Jesus Christ, was I really like that towards girls? I was trying to explain to my wife about. She said, "Oh, what about you could get a phone contract." So I was trying to explain to my wife that me and contracts don't mix, and I refused to get a contract ever since I was...
130 pages worth of
I had 130 pages of texts to one girl I used to text, because I was, I love you so much. But no, I didn't. I just wanted to get in her pants, I think. Or she sort of gave me the time of day. I love you. There was one person who, back in the hatred thing, that one person who I hate and will forever hate, and that's someone who you still work with.
I still work with.
You still, as far as I'm aware, you still work with him, unless the old fart's retired or taken too many drugs or. Yeah, I'm not going to say the name because it's quite relevant to who you work with now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
so don't.
I'm not going to go too far because I know you can't actually say anything back, but he's just as bad as I do. Basically, just give you a rundown on who he is. I won't say the name because obviously you work with him, and I don't want you getting in trouble. But yeah, this guy in particular, he was about 37 or something when I was like 19. It was like that kind of age gap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was quite a substantial age gap. But he used to take the piss out of me for liking girls, and then he would pull the girls who are younger than me. So he was like a pedo. But he was also, he wasn't a pedo, but he was that kind of like thing of like, well, to piss me off, he would pull them anyway. I think he had a pet duck. He lived with his parents, and he took regular amounts of substances, and thought he was still living in like early 90s rave scene. And it was like, dude, you're a granddad. Really, stop. And I like the fact that you've now gone quiet, because it's like, I'm turning the mic off, because if I laugh at any of this, I could be in trouble at work.
He's actually all right now. We're moving on.
My left bollock, is he all right? There's one person I must admit I regret I never got the chance to work with, who you have worked with, but now she's now gone to a different store, and that's a girl called Chloe. I met when I came to visit you again, didn't I?
All right, yeah.
And we went to the pub and had a big drink up, and it was like catch up, big, really fun night actually. Got completely smashed, but the whole time she's sitting there going, I don't know if this guy likes me or not, and I'm like just sitting there, and old me came out, and I was basically sitting there going, you're fucking going out, you shut up, you old bitch, text him. Basically shouting at her and stuff, and in the end she actually did text him, and now they've moved in together and they're living with each other. So every day every time she puts a status up on Facebook or saying how great life is, I do go, yep, thank you very much. I'm taking credit for that one.
Yeah, you're taking the credit.
I'm taking all the credit for that one. Well, she wouldn't have done anything if I didn't push her, really, because I pushed her so hard that fucking night, didn't I? So, but yeah. So there you go. I think that's covered pretty much everything up until now. Oh, apart from the fact that you still live in Essex, and I moved to the southwest and live in Devon.
Is that always going to be thrown in my face, or?
No, it's not thrown in the face. You know, you decided to live there.
So did you at one point?
I was born there. I didn't have a choice. I was born. But then, yeah, you're right. I did have a choice. When my parents moved to Cornwall, I decided to stay, didn't I? But then I ended up moving in with you, and that was just fun. Until we both got girlfriends and never talked to each other.
Yeah, it was like, fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you, buddy.
What are you doing tonight, mate? Oh, I'm out. See you later.
Yeah, like, what are you doing tonight? I've got a girl coming round. Oh, cheers. Thanks. I'll just sit.
No, we still had the Thursday nights together.
Oh, and the power baguette. I was going to have a power baguette the other night, but I never got round to it.
Oh, the power baguette.
I forgot what we had in the power baguette. I was like, I can have a power baguette. Because I still have pasta and meatballs. This time I don't eat it out of the saucepan. I don't eat it out of the saucepan now. I put it in a bowl.
No, not the saucepan. The cooking dish.
No, I don't have it in a cooking dish anymore. I have it in a bowl.
So a good portion.
Yeah, really.
So explain what power baguette is.
See, I can't remember everything that went in the power baguette, but I remember once in a couple of weeks.
Everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, once in a couple of weeks we'd sit there and go, right, we're going to have a movie night, which inevitably turned out to be Series 2 or 3 of Babylon 5. And
don't fucking start Babylon 5.
And we would sit, that's for another day, mate, that's for another podcast. And we would sit there and it would be like, right, so what are we going to have to eat? Let's have a power baguette. So we'd basically go, because we worked in the supermarket as well, and we were both bakers, we used to bake like an extra special loaf of like French stick each. And we would then proceed to buy sausages, bacon, ham, cheese.
Lettuce, don't forget lettuce. Burgers.
Burgers. Yeah, we had burgers in it as well, didn't we? And with lettuce and some other salad bits and plenty of ketchup or mayonnaise or burger sauce, whatever was on hand. And we would then proceed to just cut the French stick right down the middle, each, and then put like a box of burgers, a box of sausages, a box of bacon, the lettuce, the sauce and stuff, cut it in half and sit there and eat it. And it would just be the best thing in the world. Afterwards, you could hear your arteries going, no,
Yeah, you're basically just one big ball of gravy by the time you've eaten it. Like your insides were just clogged with fat. And you just didn't want the house could be on fire. You just sit there going, "Nah, I'll just cook with the rest of the house. I'm just too fit."
I know. You sit there going, I should not eat enough. You'd be literally cheeks out. You'd be like, literally with your little finger trying to force that last like knob of the end of the French stick in your mouth, going.
But didn't an additional plate of meat used to accompany this because we couldn't fit it in the actual baguette?
You couldn't fit everything in the baguette. You'd have the obligatory plate of about 6 burgers, 20 sausages extra beside it, with a lettuce leaf, just to make it healthy.
But the best one ever. All I've got to say to you is Band of Brothers. The time. This is the time when the shop that we ordered from was actually gobsmacked.
And they knew us though. They knew us on a regular basis because we always used to buy stuff from there. And Band of Brothers had just come on, and me and you are big war buffs, aren't we? War history nuts.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Band of Brothers came on. And we decided that, like, obviously, I'm now confessing all my sins of why I'm a fucking fat bastard now. I turned around, we phoned up the kebabery and the kebab shop and was like, "What do we have then? You know, should we have our normal?" And it was like,
that's not good enough for Band of Brothers.
Enough for Band of Brothers. You know, we're really hungry, and I think our other friend Ben, who promised us for about 2 or 3 weeks leading up to Band of Brothers, I'll be there, and decided not to show up and turn his phone off. The fucking cunt. And and this happened 3 or 4 times, so obviously we're getting pissed off, and in the end we were like, "We're not fucking inviting you now, you bastard." We phoned up the kebab and was like, "Oh, I'm hungry." And instead of going, "Oh, we'll order loads," we turn around and say, "Right, so you do a quarter pounder, you do a half pounder. Could you make us a pounder?" And they kind of was like, I beg your pardon?
There was silence on the other end.
Like, you're joking, right? I was like, "Well, no, this is the burger sauce man," because they used to have burger sauce on fucking everything. And they were like, "Oh yeah, burger sauce man. Yeah, we know you're burger sauce man. Yeah, what a pounder?" I was like, "Yeah, how many? Just make us a pounder burger." And they were, "Oh, okay, it'll cost about £5 or something." I was like, "That's fine." And I have cheesy chips and fucking doner kebab and onion rings. And
you can just imagine, like, the minute the phone was put down, they pressed this red button and this like robot chef come out, the special occasion chef.
At that point, they go to the front of the store, front of the shop. They turn the close sign up, pull the windows down, and go. "We're going to be here for a while."
You know, like in films where they ring the president early in the morning. That's like them ringing the chef.
We're ringing their other chef.
So we've got a problem.
Help. We're gonna need help. It's like it was one of those things that you ordered it and you could hear them working it out of their head, going, "No one's ever ordered this before." That they're sitting there going, "Well, how much do we charge for this?"
Like, yeah, it's like
you can hear in the background. "Really, is this what we want? Do you want to do this? I mean, honestly, it's like, how much are we going to charge? I don't know. What do you want? Burger sauce? What do you want? Burger sauce? How many burgers? I don't know. Put for 4 in there. I don't know." And that's all you can hear in the back of the phone. And when it turned up, it literally was. You opened it up, and the fucking thing was heavy.
Yeah, was holding the cases before opening it. It was like, fuck. I mean, what have we done?
Let's put this into context before we actually open this thing up. This is back in the days before metric, when you used to get a bag of sugar, and a bag of sugar was £1. So this burger weighed the same as a bag of sugar. And probably was just as bad for you as eating a bag of sugar. You know,
you might as well have poured a bowl of sugar and then a bowl of salt, mixed with gravy, and then just drank it.
You might as well just got you would have probably had the same effect as if you got 2 bits of a burger bun and shoved like the most highest fatted concentrate lump of lard in the middle, and salt. Put the bun in and eat it, and then maybe fry it and then eat it. But we opened the cases, and this glorious epic burger that we had got, this monument to the mankind's surge to create something perfect, it was in our hands, and I swear to God, it was bun, lettuce. Mine had burger sauce, obviously, cheese, burger, cheese, burger, cheese, burger, cheese, burger, bun. It was 4 burgers with 4 layers of cheese. This fucking thing would make an American sit there and go, fuck me, man.
I think we had to actually eat the burgers before actually attempting the burgers and bun. So we had to eat about 2 or 3 burgers.
No, you did that. I was like, fuck this, I'm opening... I think I deliberately tried to, dislocate my jaw just to fit the whole
like a snake.
Yeah, at that moment I turned into a snake. I was like, this is going in one piece or I'm not a man.
What you did was you put the burger on the floor and then just started to slither towards it, dislocating your jaw and then just carry on swallowing it whole.
First
I could see your stomach crunching it in the middle.
First of all, I had to wrap myself around it to squeeze it into a smaller squeeze the life out of it. But no, we managed to eat it. And I think we just about managed the chips afterwards. That was about it. It was just like, by this time, may I just add that we're watching Band of Brothers, which is about a group of soldiers who are going through hardship and turmoil, who are only eating
starving
and cold, and having limbs blown off. And me and you are sitting there, fat as anything, eating a pound of burgers, going, "Oh, these people don't know the hardships we face."
Yeah. Oh, my life sucks.
Oh, my life sucks because I can only eat the one.
But that was only a one time. I think it was just too epic to carry that on.
We had that I think 2 or 3 times more.
No.
Well, I might have done.
Yeah, the minute I left after Band of Brothers.
It's like, hello, Berg. But another epic food munch we had was, I think we went to see Limp Bizkit at the Hammersmith Apollo. Or the Camden Palais or something. And we went to McDonald's beforehand with Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
And we sat there, and I think we had we decided to have a meal, but instead of having the meals, we had the burgers. And instead of having fries and stuff, it was like, well, should we just have the burgers? And we were like, 2 Big Macs and 2 cheeseburgers. And we ate those, and me and Wayne were sitting there. And Wayne was a rake, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I remember me and him kept going back, and I think we and him scoffed about what. I think the final count was like 8 Big Macs and about 12 burgers. And then I remember going to the Limp Bizkit afterwards, going, I feel sick. But as it's a McDonald's, about 5 minutes after you fart and burp, you're like, I can eat all over again. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm fucking hungry.
Fucking hungry again. What the hell was that? It's kind of like it just turns into air. It's like as soon as it hits your stomach acids, it doesn't just take a while to dissolve and go into your bloodstream. It just goes gone.
Yeah, puff of smoke. It's like, oh, fucking starving.
Oh fuck, I'm hungry again now.
That's why they keep you coming back, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that and the fact they pour like half a tub of salt on it or something. Go, you must come back for refills of Coke. Yeah. And we'll even put salt in the Coke so it doesn't quench your thirst. And we'll stock it out of ice cubes, so it's essentially flat syrup you're drinking with ice cubes floating.
Yeah, you may as well gulp seawater.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't refreshing me at all.
It's like, my kidneys have fucking failed.
So yeah, that's essentially our epic meals.
Well, yeah, I'd say death meals.
Yeah, I remember, but it's
probably slightly reason why to this day I can never digest anything properly.
There's probably a reason why both my knees are fucked. Absolutely fucked. When I walk upstairs, my knees make the sound of someone treading on bubble wrap. It's that bad. It's like literally.
Fuck off.
No, literally, it is. My knees, when I go upstairs, they are literally going. That's one knee going.
What it is that old cartoon character used to do.
It's the Super Friends I made up.
Yeah, the Super Friends. That was it.
But the Super Friends that I made up were superheroes who had the really crappy powers that no one really. They're the ones. Basically, you've got the X-Men who can walk through walls, have adamantium claws, who can control metal, read minds. Then you've got the ones who have the powers that no one really wants to talk about, like Super Slow Motion Man, who can only ever do everything in super slow motion. Almost bullet time.
Yeah, cause there's a sketch of him falling through a window.
Yeah, everyone else is
in slow motion.
Everyone else is getting thrown off a building by the villain. Everyone's plummeting to their deaths in normal speed, but this one guy is just in super slow motion while everyone's hit the floor, gone off, run upstairs, and carried on fighting. Whatever. This guy's still tracking very, very slowly past this one window at the top floor. In like
his name was
agony.
Consta bullet time man.
Consta bullet time man. Then you had like a guy who had every single one of his bones creaked. You know when you snap your fingers and stuff? The listeners might know. When you snap your fingers and stuff, you get people you move your bones and you can always hear them click. But this guy had it was like someone had crumpling up tracing paper all the time. Because it was even when he blinks, it was just moving his arm right in the book.
The best one ever that made me laugh just thinking about it. It's super queer transformation, man.
Yeah, it was. This isn't very politically correct, this one, and I'm not anti-gay at all. But I came up with the idea of, instead of having a bloke turning into a werewolf, it was a case of he would turn into a woman, literally a transvestite. It would he would do the Jekyll and Hyde thing, as in he's going through the motions, the pain and the agony, and instead of adamantium claws coming out, his fingernails would grow and turn red. And his hair would go.
His hand would limp.
Yeah, his hands would go limp. So they've got no he's ew kind of motion. At the same time that his hips would sink in and his waist would expand, have the hourglass figure, and his leg all of a sudden where his bare feet were, they would turn into high heels.
It's just the noise as he was walking away.
Yeah, because all these bones are still going into joints. They'd be like. And the thing I think what made you laugh the most is because I'm quite a big chunky guy who's 6'3", and I would act this all out.
Yeah, that was the best part.
From being normal me to then walking around like I'm wearing high heels, looking like Tina fucking Turner. And you would wet yourself
every time, man.
Memories.
What else would make me laugh to the point where I cry? 80s explosion. Basically, have you ever seen Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah, every single sci-fi
the old
film
one
and everything. Anytime there was an explosion that happened, it would be the same sound effect, which was everything. Every single film made from 1990 backwards, and every explosion will sound exactly the fucking same. Oh, Jesus.
I'm dying. Fucking cockles.
Oh, funny times. But yeah, the listeners now, you are now listening to who we are. This is who we are. Our sense of humour, our hatred of mankind.
Your extreme hate, your extreme fascist hatred of mankind. Mine's slightly disobedient hatred of mankind.
You're slightly deviant, and I'm absolute fascist. One step away from donning
let's
a
just
white mask
invade Poland,
fucking crossing someone's garden. Yeah, I know. I'd like to say,
you are literally one step away from invading Poland.
That's one thing I would like to think. I'm not the sort of person, if you've come to this country and you work and you pay taxes, or you're studying or in university or something like that, then that's absolutely fine. If you've come over and you're trying, best of luck to you. Wish you all the best, and I hope you manage to succeed in whatever you're trying to do. What I can't fucking stand is when people come over to this country and it's literally kind of like, I'm coming here because I want to live off benefits. Give me a house. I require a house. It's part of my religion. I've got a wife and I've got 12 wives and 72 children. I require a house. Don't look at my wife. She's wearing a burqa and you can't look at her eyes because it's offensive to my religion. That stuff I cannot fucking stand.
Basically, people ignore the law of the land.
Yeah, it's the ones I want. The thing that really gets my goat at the moment, goat Muslim, is
oh fuck.
No, the thing that
I'm shaking my head.
The thing that really The thing that really gets me at the moment is the ones who want Shia. Is it Shiite law?
Sharia law.
Sharia law, or however it's pronounced. It's kind of like, no. And also the ones who are going, I don't believe in serving pork and beer and alcohol and stuff like that. Fine, then don't drink and don't eat it. don't force your beliefs on us. And what really irritates me is when we turn around and go, fuck you, I don't agree with your laws, I think your laws are a big pile of shit, and I think stoning someone because they're gay is just wrong and stupid. At what point did God turn around and say, I don't like women? It isn't, at what point, if you're trying to enforce the fact that all women should be covered up, when, why? They've got just as much right to be who they want to be as men do, and then they're moaning about our country and our laws. Fuck you. If I can't complain about your laws, you've got no right in complaining about ours. That annoys me. And this is freedom of speech, so if you want to ban us from YouTube or iTunes or whatever, feel free. But this is just freedom of speech, and if they do ban us, then it's one of those cases of, well, obviously they can say what they want to say, but we're not allowed to say what we want to say.
That's the way it is and always will be. I'm afraid.
Fight the power.
Will.
Yes.
Will.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I say, this is our show, one of the shows. We are the Crunch. God knows why we came up with that name. I think it was you who did that. And
because we can't handle the crunch.
You can't handle the crunch.
You can't handle the crunch.
I taste the crunch. I chew up your crunch. Yes, it's a Mighty Boosh reference, basically. But not much Mighty Boosh. It's basically Tony Harrison and Richard Ayoade, or whatever his name is. Is it Adio? Whatever. Yeah. The funny one from the It crowd. Or IT crowd.
I thought the Irish fella was funniest.
Yeah, but then he's become like a super celebrity now who's married to like Dawn Poulter and stuff. So he's kind of sold out to the comedy roots, man.
Instead me, you wouldn't.
What, Dawn Poulter?
No. If you got offered jobs in films, you wouldn't take it. You'd be like, no, I'm sticking with Channel 4.
Yeah, Channel 4 wants to... honestly, I've been scouted and I've been asked if I want to be part of Channel 4. You mean I've got to ditch my friend Richard and do my own thing? Honestly, I cannot believe yet. Where do I sign?
So you're such an ultra hypocrite. It's ridiculous.
I'm not an ultra hypocrite. I'm just,
Yes, you are.
I'm not a hypocrite at all.
You hate everyone who has success, and then when you get it, you're like, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. I hate people who have success because I haven't yet. When I get success, then I'll be part of the crowd, and I'll be okay with it, and I'll accept them.
Yeah, hence ultra hypocrite child.
Yeah, I don't see it as a hypocrite. I just see it as a world.
As a difference of opinion until that opinion changes.
Yeah, pretty much. This is my opinion that I hold dear and close to my heart until I get paid lots of money to change my mind. That's essentially it. Yes, it's kind of like, I hate Muslims. I hate this. We're going to pay you loads of money. Can you work for the Quran? Yeah. Allah Akbar. Yeah. That'd be brilliant. Yeah. That is pretty much it. It's kind of like, I don't understand. I don't like this or appreciate any of this. I don't understand any of this stuff. This is horrible and degrading to women. Would like you to represent us. Here's a bucket load of money. I hate women.
They should all be covered up.
Yes, and we're going to give you loads and loads of money. We'd like to change your view. Robert Berlin, I love you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're never a Kier, and I apologise for everything I ever did to you. Nah, that's never going to happen, no matter how much money you give me.
I think it would. You're easily
I can't turn back to that. I mean, I'm a whore, really, aren't I? It's kind of, we'll give you loads of money. My loyalty is with you, and it always will be with you. Here's a bucket load of money. Who the fuck are you? Why are you even looking at me? Go away, you scum!
Oh,
yeah, fair enough. Touche,
Boo.
Yeah, but trust me, if this takes off and we make loads of money and people want to send us to Comic Cons or whatever, I'll be like, yay! if this doesn't take off at all, they'll be kind of like, Richard, why are you so boring? Why have people not like? Why have people not
It's your
liking
fault.
you?
It's like, no, the actual reviews say it's because you was a racist twat. It's like, no, it's you.
Now, what would be absolutely hysterical is if if all of a sudden we become like spokesman for the fucking UKIP or BNP. Bring those people to our convention. I'll be like, the thing is though, it's one of those situations of, where do you draw the line? Let's be honest. Let's have a serious debate here. Where would you draw the line? Would it be a case of like, we would like you to be a spokesman for UKIP and BNP? No, I can't, because I don't agree with your views on gays and lesbians, and I don't agree with your views on this race and this race and this race, and I don't agree with your views on nearly everything. My opinion is only based on a very marginal group within a wider religion. That's my view. Here's a bucket load of money and you're going to be famous. Fuck every religion. Fuck anyone who's slightly dusky. Why the fuck do I sign? Do you want me to get a swastika tattooed on my head? Yeah.
It's like anyone who's not Aryan is dead. He's just dead to me.
Yeah, it's like fucking my favourite book, Mein Kampf, all the way. Trust me, when it comes to stuff like that, I don't think any amount of money. I honestly think, and I've wrote this in a blog before. It's the fact of one of my general fears is being a history nut. Is when you read and find out about how Adolf Hitler took power, the fact that he was just a general normal guy, well, normal fuckhead, and he gained power by ranting and raving because of how bad the situation was in Germany at the time.
Yeah, inciting fear.
Yeah. What worries me is how UK people are now, people who are born in the UK, who live in the UK, who are generally British born and bred. Their opinion of everyone who's foreign coming in now is getting so strained, even though we don't like to say it, it is getting quite frayed how we are. And my fear that I have is how long is it going to be before someone comes along and like a speaker, like say a Russell Brand or someone who's got that kind of fascist view, someone who's got a gift of the gab, a way of speaking, who is influential, who makes people who can argue points to a way that make people turn around and go, well, that makes sense, even though he could be talking ranting and raving and it's some weird warped kind of sense. How long is it going to be before someone comes in with a personality and an ego and a magnetism that draws people in, that we're going to turn around and be the next Nazi party? How long is that going to be? Because it's getting really, really bad, and how people's views are to everything. And I know people turn around and go, oh, but the BNP and that UKIP and Nick Farage or whatever his name is, and it's like, yeah, but true, but one guy, the UKIP guy is just weird. He just looks like a scary old man. And let's be completely honest. The leader of BNP looks like a freak form of mashed potato.
Well, his besideness and his giant head.
He looks like someone's put he looks like some weird little child has put all the joints and arms and ligaments of a Mr. Potato Head wrong, and then some poor bastards put it in an oven and it started to melt. That is how the leader of the BNP looks like to me. He looks like some weird half-melted Mr. Potato Head. And there is
what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there is no chance in hell that the leader of BNP is going to get any more power than he already is. The only reason people vote for BNP and UKIP is because that's the only other party that might have some views that people want to go for, and is different to the main powers or main parties. They're not going for it because they like the leaders of the party and want to see him in power. It's just the fact that they want to stick two fingers up to Labour and Tories and the Liberal Democrats. That's all it is. Does anyone actually believe anything the BNP and the other guy talk about? No. No one gives a shit. We're all too fucked off with the normal government, and everyone's trying to go for something different. If the raving crazy loony party was still going, people would probably vote for them instead. Yeah, and that's the political section of the show out of the way.
Don't know what you're talking about, mate. I reckon the Super Saiyans are really good. Everyone who's not Super Saiyan should die.
I reckon. Yeah, I'm sorry, but Super Saiyans are all the way. All the way.
Super Aryans, Saiyans / Aryans.
Yes. One thing I will say on the point of Super Saiyans, anyone who watches Dragon Ball Z abridged by Team 4 Star, you need to. It doesn't matter what else you're doing. Turn the TV off, go to your YouTube and search for Dragon Ball Z abridged. It is the funniest that if you know Dragon Ball Z and you watched Dragon Ball Z when you were a kid, watch the abridged version by Team 4 Star. It is the funniest thing you will ever fucking see. It makes me wet myself every time I watch it. I fucking love it. And the guy and the voice of Vegeta and Nappa are hilarious. And the two of them together is hysterical. Anyone who has access to a computer, if you listen to this, you obviously have, you need to download it or watch it on YouTube. It is hilarious. And that's my plug.
That's part of shit. Boring.
Okay, then what is there out there that you really like that you want to plug today?
My ass.
Your ass? You want to plug your ass? I always knew you were saying I was slightly homosexual in our old flat.
Oh, I'm very homosexual.
All right, okay. But no, is there anything you would want to plug? Any other YouTube stuff that you think is worthy of a mention?
The only one recently has made me completely die is obviously JonTron. I mean, that part where he's talking about them goosebumps, and he's checking himself for fur.
Yeah, JonTron's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's like, stop.
Have you seen?
But, incredibly loud.
Have you seen JonTron and Continue when they're drunk?
Yes.
That is funny. There's another show out there called Continue, which is about three guys who sit on a sofa and they play a game, an old retro game, and they'll play it from the very beginning. They only play it for 30 minutes. They haven't read any instruction manual or anything. They literally put the game into their console, play it, and you hear them talking about what they're playing there and then. It is pretty funny stuff, and JonTron actually turned up and they decided to all get a bit merry while playing three different games. And even though the three main guys from Continue are kind of getting merry, JonTron is getting absolutely fucking plastered, I think, for the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. So, yeah.
Well,
JonTron and Dragon Ball Z Abridged, people need to watch these two things. With. Yes.
I think we're going to have to call that a day because we've been ranting far too long and giving far too much information on our lives.
Yeah, okay. I think we should say what our next topic will be now, because I think everyone's going to want to. If they like this and how our random talking goes, then our next subject, I'm going to say right now, is you're a huge Babylon 5 fan, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you're a huge Babylon 5 fan.
And if you're even going to talk about the 12 years of complete harassment you've given me over the Star Trek versus Babylon 5, it's going to be good.
Yeah. So you're a Babylon 5 fan, and I am a Star Trek fan. And obviously, this is a heated debate that will probably take up a good half hour next time we talk. And yeah, we'll rant and rave next time for our next podcast about literally Babylon 5 versus Star Trek, and how Star Trek completely kicks Babylon 5's ass all over the world.
I'm not going to say anything because it's for another episode, but it's going to go longer than half hour. This argument has been going on for 12 years.
I don't know, because I kind of run the argument by just saying two simple phrases, and I will come to that in another podcast, because we're not going to get into it now, because it'll take too long.
Even though I so want to right now, but
yeah, we need to leave it for another day. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen and listeners who have hopefully enjoyed this and haven't just gone skip, we hope you enjoyed it. And anyone we've offended, I apologise. This is all just our own opinions, nothing broader or wider. We're only just saying stuff to basically entertain you. And unless your name's Robert, and I hate you, and I really, really hope I never get to see you ever again. And if you are married, and I'm sure it's a very beautiful goat. I hope that you've managed to have some corrective surgery for your head. And
pop some of them milk spots.
Yeah. So yeah. But no, in all fairness, I do apologise for how much of a twat I was when I was growing up, and I hope it hasn't affected you in later life. If you are in a mental asylum, I apologise, but then fuck it, you ain't going to hear this anyway. So yeah, there you go. We are the Crunch.
The Crunch.
The Crunch. And I hope you listen to us again. Bye.
Bye.
Will.
You fuck you.
Fuck yeah.